right, it's May 2nd, 2015 at 9:15 in the morning. I am at Yellowstone National Park on my way to the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. I am in hunt of Flynn's gold. I think I have a good idea where it's at. I'm about 12 miles away now, and I'm getting pretty nervous. A lot of butterflies in my stomach. For those of you who don't know, Forrest Fenn supposedly buried over $1 million worth of his gold. I shouldn't say buried. Placed over $1 million worth of his gold. It's gold nuggets, gold coins, gold dust, ancient artifacts, Chinese jade, supposedly. So yeah, I'm on my way to Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. I've got my handy dandy poem here. The title of the poem is The Thrill of the Chase. I'll go ahead and read it to you real quick. As I have gone alone in there, and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secret where, and hint of riches, new and old. Begin it where warm waters halt, and take it in the canyon down, not far, but too far to walk. Put in below the home of Brown. From there, it's no place for the meek. The end is ever drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. If you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down your quest to cease. But tarry scant with marvel gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. So why is it that I must go and leave my trove for all to seek? The answer I already know. I've done it tired, and now I'm weak. Your effort will be worth the... So hear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. If you are brave and in the wood, I give you title to the gold. So in that poem, there are 9 clues about where he hid his gold. I believe the first clue is, begin it where warm waters halt. And I think I'm there already. The warm waters halt, I think, is Yellowstone National Park, because it's a volcano with geysers, and the water, as soon as it leaves the earth, it starts cooling down. So the second part of the clue is the next line, and take it in the canyon down. The canyon down, there was a book called The Down Canyon, which was about the Grand Canyon. And since Forrest had said that the gold is not in Arizona, then my thinking is the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. The next clue, not far, but too far to walk. I believe that has to do with the parking lots around the canyon. There's 2 viewing areas to see the falls of the canyon. And one of their parking lots, it's not very far, you can see it, but you can drive down there. It drops below the rim just a little bit. So I think that's what it's saying, is not far, but too far to walk. It's not that far, but you want to park there. The next clue is the toughest for everyone. Put in below the house of Brown. That's the tricky one. This is where I've got a hunch. I think the house of Brown means Uncle Tom's Point. Right next to the parking lot, there's a area called Uncle Tom's Point. Uncle Tom's Cabin was a book written before my time about a brown man, or an African American. When I looked at it on Google Earth, I also saw a brown building, a structure of some sort next to the parking lot. So I also think that it could be that. I'm not sure what color it was. I'll see when I get there. And also, I think it could stand for brown, being forest rangers wear brown shirts, and so the home of brown, like a forest ranger building structure. So that's what I hope to see. But either way, the next clue is from there it is no place for the meek. Well, the Uncle Tom's Trail is not really a trail. It is a set of 380 some steps. So I think that that's what it means. It's not for the meek, because meek means weak and powerless. And so if a powerless person would have a hard time going up those stairs, maybe even down them in some cases. So the next part of the clue actually has a semicolon after it, which I think is key, because that means the two clues go together. As the end is drawing near, is drawing ever nigh, there'll be no paddle up your creek. And I want to say that at the bottom of this, I'm hoping to see that at the bottom of this staircase, there's a board, a park board with some information on it. I consider that the drawing. And close to that should be, I'm hoping, a tributary creek or a feeder creek into the Yellowstone River that I can access and go up. The next clue, there'll be no paddle up your creek, is just heavy loads and water high, which I think heavy loads is boulders, rocks. I think there's rocks to climb up in this creek, and that water high is a waterfall, so the water's falling down, so you're climbing up a creek. If you've been wise and found the blaze, and so I expect that if I climb that creek and get to the top, I should look for a blaze, and a blaze is an emblem on a tree, which I believe is just a lowercase f. Look quickly down. Look quickly down, your quest to cease. So I think that's the end. You just look down from the blaze. I don't know where it's going to be. I think it may be in water. I think Forrest said that whoever gets it will be wet. So that's my update for now. So I'll touch back in with you whenever we get to the parking lot at Uncle Tom's Point. Take care. All right, here I am. I just parked at Uncle Tom's Point. As you can see, Uncle Tom's Point, and exactly as I wanted to see, there's a home of brown right there. So right there. So now it's time. Got my map. As you can see, there's one other car here, and it's an older couple who's turning around right now. All right, see how it goes. Bye. The light bends through these clouds.
Oh, excuse me. No problem. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. Oh, 2,500 miles for that. Awesome.
Go home now.
No, it's a must see, that's for sure. All book of what, 40 seconds?
That's actually 140 seconds. She was almost late. She only had 2 minutes left.
Like the earthquake.
And looks like she's about out. Just driving along. Doo -doo 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 -doo. All right, so it's 2 o'clock and we're leaving the park. I got in trouble with the game warden. Gave me a warning. Thank God he gave me a $175 ticket. But I can't get in trouble in Yellowstone National Park for the next 5 years. If I do, then it's kind of bad. So we'll see what happens. I was unsuccessful in locating Fenn's treasure. I followed the clues as I thought, as I discussed. I took a lot of video down there. However, the game warden, he made me delete it. Delete anything because it was a closed area. It was restricted, so I wasn't supposed to be in there. And I was in there for like 3 hours climbing rocks, and I was climbing a bunch of stuff. And luckily he didn't catch me with that, or I'd probably be in jail. But he just caught me in a closed area and gave me a warning. So I'm headed back now. I'm going to be doing some more research. I still think I'm pretty good up until about clue 8. I think clue 8 with the end is ever drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek. I think I've got to look into that one a little bit more. I thought I had it. Everything was making sense. There was some good spots, and that I couldn't find the blaze. So no blaze to be found. I looked. I got wet, and back to the drawing board. I'm on in Idaho between Twin Falls and Boise. And I've been thinking about my failure today and not being able to find the gold. So I did some research on my phone when I had a second a few hours ago. And I was wrong in my solve. I knew that it was going to lead down to the end of that staircase. I knew there would be a creek that went uphill with rocks. What I was wrong with was the clue heavy loads and water high. I assumed you had to climb the rocks to get to the top of the waterfall, and that's where it would be. It really turned out to be a challenge. So I was, as I've said before, I don't have any video of that. The ranger made me delete it. But I now know you need to lift up the rocks. So the blaze is on a piece of wood in the river, but it's covered up with rocks. So the blaze is covering the treasure, the gold, kind of like a bridge would. And I have a feeling that the blaze is on the underneath side of that piece of wood that's covered up with rocks on top of the treasure. So that's what I'm going to go with. We got to plan another trip when they're open, and it can't be in the summertime because a lot of people, unless it's 5 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, bye.